Alright guys, we're back for another Dokkan battle video. Let's go, let's go. We're gonna jump into Boss Rush. There is a new stage of Boss Rush. I'm a little bit late on this. Something like 50 days late or something like that. Let's jump in, man. Let's jump in. Boss Rush is something I typically do get to pretty slow. It's just not really an event that, I mean, well, to me matters too much, but it's obviously very good for free-to-play players. So this is stage 19. Now, I don't know, I assume it's been fixed by now. The day this came out, they had the wrong Super Saiyan 3 Goku fight in here. It was actually Dragon Fist was the fight that was in here, but that's not the correct one. This, of course, is, you know, so they are up to the very end of 2021 with these boss rushes. Shows just how far they still are behind. They could do something, by the way, this is how we'll kind of like jump into one of these fights, right, is... You know, what I like to do is we'll jump in. Actually, I've got animations on. We don't need to watch the intros for sure. This is a long, gonna be a long round of fights. But what I like to do is, you know, like when there's a new boss rush, you know, we'll use some of the new characters and we'll just go ahead and devastate these events. And it's gonna be, I mean, these are Dokkan events. They're not something that could challenge us. Now, I guess I would like if they continue, like, they started these. There's no reason not to just continue them forever. It is nice, you know, to get, what is it, 35 stones, I believe, for clearing the stage. Way back when, these events were very, well, not these ones, but the very first, like, boss rush stages were really tough. I mean, it was one of my earlier streams many, many years ago. When, with my global account, I believe I was doing the boss rush, and I mean, it would take like 2 hours. It was really, really tough. But now, obviously, Dokkan events just are not the difficulty in-game. Now, they showed us what they could do with the Red Zone movie boss rush. Where the way the Red Zone movie boss rush is, it's actually one fight. And the other thing, too, I do really like, so in Boss Rush, we just have this background right here for every single fight, which does kind of, I feel like it makes it like a little bit more boring than it needs to be. Red Zone movie Boss Rush was done in the true perfect way. Like, they nailed it completely, right? Because in Red Zone movie Boss Rush, you know, we've got all of the fights, you know, consecutively in one, like fight. So, you know, going through here, like, once we finish Frieza, we're going to go to the next fight, and then we clear that, and then it's, you know, going to be turn 1 again for the next fight, and the next fight, and stuff like that. But, like, Red Zone movie boss rush, it's just one singular fight, which is absolutely the way they need to make this stuff, right? Okay, so we should be able to just pop this, and then it's going to be GG, huh? Yeah, LR... Oh, we're going to get the rare KO screen. Okay, sure, there it is. Yeah, LR Evolution Blue Vegeta is really crazy. I do think at the moment, I would rank LR Evolution Blue Vegeta as the #2 character in the game. I think Beast is 1. I definitely think Vegeta's 2. I would rank UI at 3. I do think that UI, the community does seem to underrate him a little bit, but, I mean, that's kind of like a Dodge thing. The community is just very harsh on Dodge for some reason. I mean, they always have been. Very odd, but whatever. Then, you know, once you start talking about 4, that's where the discussion, I think, can open up a little bit. I mean, I think Gogeta's in there, Broly's in the discussion, Orange Piccolo's in the discussion, the Gammas, STR Vegito. Did I say STR Vegito? Blue Gogeta, maybe Buhan. I mean, I don't know. Buhan, probably not. And I don't know that I like the Gammas above a character like Gogeta, too. I think Gogeta... I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. There's pros and cons to a lot of the anniversary LRs, except for Beast, who just is only pros and no cons. Right? I guess like if we had to come up with cons for Beast, it would just be the fact that, I mean, he does either need to get hit, or he does need to do attacks, right, to be able to build up a little bit of his extra damage reduction. But it's just pretty much just something like that. I mean, we don't really see much else, right? Like, it's just that like as long as Beast Gohan has his active skill up, he essentially like is perfect, right? I guess. I mean, maybe the one thing is that his active only lasts for one turn, but bosses just can't do anything when you pop his active. And it doesn't really matter what boss. I mean, I guess maybe like the Blue Gogeta boss, he certainly could potentially tap us with whatchamacallit, an AoE, right? The target mechanic doesn't protect from an AoE. That's pretty much it. The other thing, too, is, you know, looking at some of these characters, I don't think that a lot of these characters are necessarily in line for EZA soon. Namek, Goku, and Full Power Frieza, maybe they could EZA for, like, worldwide or something like that. I guess I wouldn't be shocked. But a lot of these end of 2021 characters probably aren't going to EZA soon. We have moved into 2021 territory with EZAs now. I mean, look no further than UI Goku and Evolution Blue Vegeta, right? They're on here, and they have EZA'd, and they are crazy, but there's still 3 major releases in 2019 that have not gotten their EZA yet. Of course, we're talking about LR Tech Broly, as well as the Super Saiyan 3 Goku and the Tech Majin Vegeta. I've never been the biggest fans of the Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Majin Vegeta units, but that's one where I think we could see them get just a ridiculously explosive EZA, I'm thinking, is that character among pretty much all, like the Majin Vegeta and the Goku. You know, those two would be added to a lot of teams. Right now, the best villain character in the game, I mean, it's either Vegeta or Broly. You know, I obviously I'd like to wait until Vegeta comes out before I can really grade him, and we'll kind of see where it's going there. But imagine they drop the other, you know, legendary extreme tech character, you know, that Tech Broly, and they just make him, I mean, a Tech Broly, if he's even just as good as whatchamacallit was, Broly, Chila, and Lemo, as well as STR UI Goku, I am on board. That's all I need, is that he's just at least on that level, the 9th anniversary LR EZA level, because we had so many characters throughout the 9th anniversary EZAs and stuff who were really just made so supremely well. And I would just really like to see that level, that quality of EZA continue. We know that whenever EZA Kefla is going to drop on JP, because she was a global first, we know that she was ridiculous, that Kefla. Kefla was so crazy, her EZA. She's so powerful. So that does feel like a post, like you know, like a 9th anniversary kind of like EZA type situation for sure. And I do hope that they would continue that for LR Tech Broly, for the others and stuff like that. Now, I was talking about these characters and them potentially EZing. We do still have a lot of 2020 characters to go, though. I mean, remember, there's so many different kind of like dual Dokkan Fest type characters that we'd have to kind of like move through when it comes to getting their EZAs and stuff like that. Like, I'll be very curious, are we gonna maybe get like a Majin Buu Saga celebration for them to EZA Gotenks and Buu at the same time? I think sometimes. Well, okay. Let me think about these dual Dokkan Fests. Obviously, the LR dual Dokkan Fests, they all tend to EZA at the same time, right? So we, like, you know, the 3rd anniversary LRs, 4th anniversary LRs, 5th anniversary LRs, and 6th, they all EZA at the same time. Vegito and Buu-Tanks EZA at the same time. Cell and Gohan EZA at the same time. I'm trying to think, okay, what about, like, TUR Dual Dokkan Fest? Zamasu and Trunks did basically EZA at the same time. Who was the... Yeah, Gogeta and Broly EZA'd at the same time. Tech Vegito Blue and STR Rose EZA'd at the same time. Yeah, so it does seem very likely to me that we would see them EZA at the same time. The Gotenks and Buu, which tells me something like a Majin Buu Saga type thing could make a lot of sense. They definitely, and for sure, are going to jump back to Super Vegito. I mean, Super Vegito and Buuhan their fight does go on for quite a while. Vegito is mostly just toying with Buhan, letting Buhan intentionally cycle through all of his attacks until he finally decides to try and absorb Vegito. Like, that's Vegito's plan. Like, that's why, like, Vegito's not... A lot of people think Vegito is actually just goofing off in that fight, where he has a stated plan, which is he wants to get absorbed by Buu, and he's confident that he could, you know, barrier through it, and then he'd be able to save Gohan, Piccolo, Goten, and Trunks. Like, that's kind of like the plan that Vegito has, right? But because of that, that means Dokkan has just infinite amounts of... Yeah, this does look like the proper fight, right? Yeah, they fixed it. Okay. So again, when this first came out, they did not have the correct fight here. It was the Dragon Fist fight, which of course, Dragon Fist is the newest update to this Dokkan event. But, I mean, that's a stage that only just recently came out, right? That's not supposed to be here in the boss rush. It's kind of funny that they kind of make that little mistake, but they did actually fix that, which is really, really good. And just like that, we are at the end of boss rush. I mean, as you guys can see, boss rush doesn't really do anything. It really does just function, I guess, mostly as an event for kind of like free-to-play players and stuff like that, to be able to grind up some stones. For like the end of it. Like, that's why a lot of times it is dropped, like along with like, you know, dual Dokkan Fest or an anniversary and stuff like that, so that it could be very, very easy for players to have the, you know, just a little bit of extra stones to be able to summon for the big hype new Dokkan Fest and stuff like that. So I do like it. But there we go. There is going to be the end of this event. But if you're wondering what this is a character that exists for LR Super Saiyan 3 Goku's 12-key animation. But they use this guy as like a boss at times and stuff like that. But that's like what that card art is right there for that Super Saiyan 3 Goku. I wouldn't really be surprised if at some point they made that guy obtainable, right? If you guys remember way back in the day, LR STR Full Power Frieza, his SSR, and LR Full Power Jiren's TUR. Like a couple of those, or I think it was his TUR. Was it his SR or TUR? I think it was his TUR. Maybe it was his SSR. But a couple of older LRs, like they had card arts in the game for a long time that were eventually repurposed and used. I think the same thing happened with the GT Trunks, right? Who was you could fight in the B-Pan event forever. And then eventually they made him a summonable character. And then he awakened to the Goten and Trunks. So there's that. We can go ahead and grab our 35 stones. I mean, I'll take it. Bam. So there is the newest stage of Boss Rush. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks, guys, for watching. And I will catch you guys next time.